Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto here with the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel, and I'm here to review 20th Century Women. So I got to see this last week, and it was one of the last films from 2016 that I've gotten to see. It's about a middle-aged woman who is trying to raise her son without her husband, so she tries to get some of the boarders in her home to help her raise her child. Now, this film is kind of that slice of life where it's about a particular time in this young boy's life, dealing with his mother and trying to figure out who he is, and also dealing with all these very interesting characters throughout the film. Now, the basic cast is more like an ensemble of 5 characters, and all the actors do a fantastic job with it. Now, I'm going to start off talking about Mike Mills, who wrote and directed this film. He uses great storytelling to convey the story where, yeah, it's showing the interactions between all these different characters with each other, but slowly but surely, when it really makes the most sense, it takes a step back and it shows the history of each of these characters in a very interesting way and a very, very cool use of storytelling in this film. And sometimes when you rip you right out of the main story and have to do a flashback, it doesn't always work well. This works perfectly, and how this was written was fantastic. It's told very interesting and very real story, and a very human story, and it felt very relatable, and these felt like real people, but very interesting real people, and really caught your attention for the whole length of this 2-hour film. And everyone does their job fantastically. Now, I'm going to run through the 5 main characters a little bit and the actors. So we have the mother, played by Annette Bening, who, to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen her in much, and haven't really liked her that much. I thought she did a fantastic job in this film because the mother could have came off really just being naggy and just being overprotective and just a stereotype, but she added some great layers to this character and was super interesting. And it wasn't just like she's an interesting mom, she was an interesting person in general. And Annette Bening, I'm really surprised didn't get nominated for Best Actress for this film. Now, the son, played by Lucas Jade Zuman, this is a young kid, child actor, and he does a fantastic job. He's a really believable teenager, and you can see that angstiness about him, and he isn't just like he's a stereotypical teenager. He has personality, he has interests, he has these connections with these different characters, and it's interesting to see how he grows in this film, and much like somebody at that age trying to grab pieces from different people and trying to grow himself in general. Now, Elle Fanning plays his maybe girlfriend interest, but his best friend, and she has a lot of complexities to her, and Elle Fanning does a great job of portraying this character and making her feel mysterious and also believable, but also likable, which she does some things that aren't exactly the most likable. And then you have your 2 other boarders in this film, like Greta Gerwig and Billy Crudup, and both of them are very, very interesting characters and bring a very interesting dynamic to all the scenes that they're in and the interactions and how they help shape the other characters' lives in this film by their influence, and even when they're interacting with each other. And overall, this is such a well acted, well written movie, and I loved it so much. And there are certain things with the cinematography, like when time is going by, it's like this rushed, like, felt like an ecstasy, a form of visualizing things with like bright colors and like the streams of headlights and stuff like that. And it really felt like the time that this film took place in is the late 70s, and they really picked up that vibe of the time very well, and especially visually, and then in context with all the things going on and what's influencing this young kid in his life. And this is a deep film. It hits on some great themes, including like growing up with a single mom, which hit me close to home, and also having other people influencing you growing up, which I grew up with my mom and my grandparents and my brother. So we have all these different influences coming in, and I thought it was a very interesting films portraying those themes of a young man trying to figure out his own life, but slowly but surely, like, grabbing all these interests or these things from different people to helping you construct this one unique person. And I thought this was an awesome ride. It was very interesting. I never felt bored, and I actually really liked this film, and it was one of my top 10 favorite films of the year. My only potential drawback is with a lot of films that's more of a slice of life kind of thing. You're just going along, and this was 2 hours. Things could have been trimmed up that maybe in the end it really didn't amount or very influence the plot as much, and it could have been trimmed down a bit. But overall, I think 20th Century Women was a fantastic film, and I'm going to give it an A.